You hear this going on underneath what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is exactly that here in this time, this fantastic time. There are so many things seem to be happening. They seem to be happening. We are not aware of what is happening around us. We have no awareness of situation. We have no control of attitude. We have no control of attitude. We have no awareness of our situation in the totality of the universe. We have no awareness of our attitude, so we cannot control our attitude. So we are not actually in charge of our body. We are not actually in the understanding of what is happening inside. That is situational awareness. That is understanding of attitude. That is the awareness of the poise of the system. And now we are here in this ideal world of ideal world, in which now we have an economy geared to destruction instead of an economy geared to creation. We have an economy that is about profit, where you have these tiny sets of supposed perfection under increasing threat from the hosts of consequence. These tiny oases become like sets in a 1950s movie. The old bioscope, the old kinetoscope, where phony film folk fill the flicker of the flicks in the atmosphere. Phony film folk flipped and flapped, while hurricane of destruction gathered momentum and set off across the face of the planet in an orgy of destruction. And the industry of desert went with a following wind, and now has made a vast Sahara that'll be a long time of eternity returning to a green and pleasant land. Do you know that Sahara were once green and pleasant? In the time of Blue Land, Sahara was a paradise. You know what Hagar means? Hagar means garden. When the Sahara was a garden, the Sahara was pastures. But then came the men with the paper and the book and the road and the walls and the counted Grendal with Torang in between. The colonized land, colonized with the families of the legionnaires of the conquered land. These divisions of the Roman walls and the Roman roads and the strata. But there was a basic mistake. It's actually difficult to be addressing exactly all the things that now merit addressing. We have a world. The economy of this world is moved by an industry that produces desert. This industry is going great guns. But there is one thing. On this little blue jewel dancing in the sky of the sun cannot afford really to host such an economy. So we have to set the controls for an economy that avoids the total desertification of the planet. That ultimately is the only strategic imperative. The only strategic imperative is the preservation of our home, the preservation of this unique womb that bore us, all of us together, and everything that feels and breathes under the sky is us, this planet. This planet will not be destroyed. The ranges of infinity marshal against thee. Therefore, cease and desist. Cease and desist. Harmony will. The mountains and the sea, the wind and the cloud are marshaled against thee. Cease and desist. All of the hosts of consequence are marshaled against thee. Cease and desist. You cannot spendthrift the warmth. You will not spendthrift the warmth and the breath. The breath is given. To waste it is a crime. The breath you cannot make. You have not the right to take it. You have not the right to take what you cannot replace. You have not the right to take what you cannot replace. You have not the right to take what you cannot replace. You have not the right to take what you cannot replace. What you are unable to replace, you cannot take. So the making of the desert is a crime. When you know that you are doing it, it is a crime. Desertification, the wasting of the breath is a crime for which you will be held answerable. This planet will not be desert. This planet will not be barren. The forces are arraying. The hosts of consequence are approaching. The fact of my saying this is utter proof. I am a waster, a trailblazer, forerunner. Behind me come already the scouts, and behind them the endless hosts of consequence. Stopping me is totally useless, because my race is run. Stopping me only makes a bigger mark, a bigger blaze, more easily followed into the heart of all of this error. Correction is coming. Redress is coming. We live in a vast, vast era. Somebody, somewhere fudged it. Someone fuddled it, messed it up. Someone must answer. There is a waster here asking. Someone must answer. Who brought us to this path? Who? We are all here. We are all witness. We all hear. We all feel. Who? Who did this? Who? Who did this? Who gave the orders? Who signed the papers? Who sat in a bar and agreed? Who? For what? Are you prepared to answer? Are you prepared to stand up and say, yes, it was me? No, you're not. So much. You have cloaked yourself in anonymity. For all your name and face.